Hi, this is Yolanda from vanveenbulbs.com, and in this segment we're going to talk about how to divide peonies. Now, peonies are a beautiful flower that bloom in the late spring, early summertime. They look like big roses, big pink and yellow and white, come in all different colors. They're just a beautiful garden plant. But they do make almost like big shrubs, and they can get really big and crowded over the years. So the best time to divide them is anytime they're not blooming, preferably in the late fall or whenever the leaves are really starting to die back and the nights are getting cold, or even in the middle of the winter. If you live in a milder climate where you can get into the ground, that's the best time to divide it. Because anytime you divide it when it's growing, you might stop it from growing. And with peonies, once you cut off that greenery, it usually doesn't grow more till the next year. So let's take a look at this peony. It's gotten kind of big, and see how to divide it. So the peonies get nice bronze foliage in the fall too, which is really pretty. And this one's kind of getting big for the spot. Had a lot of blooms on it. And when you dig it out, it makes just a massive root system. So I just kind of work all the way around. So I start at one side, and then I just kind of work my way all the way around the plant. Until it kind of rocks out of it. Because if you pull on it too, a lot of times you'll pull the stems right off, which really wouldn't matter at this time of the year. But then you can't really keep track of where it's at underneath the ground. So this has gotten to be a good sized root. And you can see I've got mondo grass growing right in with it too. So I love my mondo grass. It's another Japanese plant that does really well in almost any climate. So I'm just going to move that one over here while I'm at it. And that way it'll have its own little area. So now, as you can see, I have just a mass of peony roots. And it's the eyes that matter. So all these little eyes is where the new growth is going to be for next year. And that's where the stems are going to come out. So as long as I have a piece of wood that has an eye on it, it will grow. So I just kind of separate them out. And a lot of times if it was really hard to, soaking them in a bucket of water will soften it up. But I just gradually just ply them apart. And I still like to start and give it a pretty good sized root. So I probably wouldn't break it up any more than that already. But you can see it's just got lots and lots of eyes. It looks really healthy. So what I'm going to do is replant it right away. So I'll probably just cut off this greenery because it's starting to look raggedy anyway. And it'll be dormant all winter and then come up and bloom next spring. And so I like to leave them on the bigger side too. So they kind of braid themselves too. So this one you can see is totally made of braid. So you just kind of take the braid apart. And really when it comes down to it, it's the eyes that matter. And these eyes are pretty intermingled. So I could actually cut it right down the middle with a shovel or a knife, or take a screwdriver and separate it even more. But I found in the end, peonies like to be crowded, and the more crowded the roots are, the better they grow and the better the blooms are. So I'm not going to divide it any more than that. Peonies are a great addition to the garden, and they're really easy to divide.